Hey, welcome to this edition of Thrive. As always, I hope it finds you well and that life is going good for you. You know, if you've been around the church for a while, you're probably familiar with the story of Nehemiah. You know, he was a cupbearer in a foreign king's court. He was essentially a slave. What had happened was his hometown, his home country had been conquered, and he'd been taken off as an exile to serve in the courts of the conquering king. And going about his duties one day, these reports come in from his homeland about the state of his hometown, and particularly the temple, which was central to his life. It gave him meaning and understanding, and it was all his purpose and identity came from that. And as he's hearing these reports of how broken it was, how it had been burnt and it was in decay, something rose up inside of him. It's like something was awakened within inside of him. And even though he's a cupbearer, he's by all accounts a person of no account, something rises up within him and he says, somebody's got to do something. It might as well be me. And I like that. You know, I'm willing to bet that as you watch or listen to news reports, that you don't sit there indifferently, that you have responses, some positive, some negative. And sometimes you're stirred and you get more vocal or more angry or more excited than at other times. But there's always some form of response. Likewise, I'm sure that when you hear of somebody whose life has been ripped apart through some injustice or some tragedy, or you hear of somebody who's facing some illness that just seems so disproportionate to life, and it causes there to be a response. You get angry or you want to do something, and the question is why? You know, where does this come from? And I want to say, like Nehemiah, you were made for action. The reason you feel that way is because you were made for action. You see, I believe that we can't truly live out of the fullness of life, that we can never experience everything that God intends for us to be until we start taking action, and until we start living outside of ourselves, until we start living for other people, until we start looking beyond our own world to the worlds of those around us. You know, people around you, they need you to take action. They need you to be like Nehemiah. The people around you in your world need you to step up and to step in. They need what you have and what they lack. They need your hope. They need your perspective. They need you to help them find a way when there appears to be no way. They need you to take action. They need someone like a Nehemiah, someone who will say, you know, somebody has to do something. It might as well be me. And I know that when you hear something like that, the chances are you begin to say, oh, but, you know, I'm not good with words, or I have no experience, or I don't know if I'm up to it. And we begin to justify, to make excuses as to why we can't take action, why we shouldn't step in. You know, it's just how we're wired. It's our default setting. And yet, Luke chapter 12, verse 12 says that the Holy Spirit will give us the right words to say when we need them. You see, it's not about what your experience, what you know. It's not about what you are able to do. It's about being willing to step up and to step in. Nehemiah was a person of no account. He was a cupbearer. Yet he said, somebody's got to do something. It might as well be me. And history records the results of that. And I wonder what history could record if you were to step up. I wonder what history would record if you were to step out of your comfort zone and step into a situation because somebody has to do something. It might as well be you. So I want to challenge you over the next week. What's one thing that you can do? What's one action that you can take that because somebody you love, somebody you care for, needs you to take it? And what's one thing that you can do? What's one action that you can take because your dreams require it of you if you're going to see them fulfilled? Because trust me, that as you start to take action, you're going to step out of yourself into the version of you that you want to become. You step out of yourself into the plans that God has for you, and you begin to make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. So that's my encouragement for you. You were made for action. You were made to make a difference. So I hope you start doing that. As always, I appreciate your time. I hope it's encouraging. Until next time, God bless you.